Hello everyone, Marianne from Revealing Light Tarot. How are we all today? Wherever you are in the world when you're watching, a huge shout out to you. I've been away for a couple of days celebrating with my husband. We went over to see the Impressionist exhibition at the National Gallery in Canberra, which is our nation's capital. And we went to dinner and we celebrated our 32nd wedding anniversary. We don't usually do that, and I said to my husband, it's probably about time we celebrated, given it's 32 years, which is a lifetime, isn't it? So I'm back from that. I'm looking a wee bit tired. We had wine and we walked a mile, an absolute mile, more than a mile, all over Canberra. So we had a really nice time. I'm back now, catching up on the news, and I did want to look at Ukraine as well. First of all, Navalny is now able to see his own doctor or his own doctors, and he's ended his hunger strike. So was he in the shadow of death? Is he okay now? I guess we can look at those cards. Did Putin see my reading and see that if Navalny did die, it wouldn't augur well for him? I think 120,000 people took to the streets. Many were arrested. We'll see where that's going to go with a couple of cards. I hope it's a reprieve. I do want to look at Ukraine. What's he doing in Ukraine? One of my viewers asked the question, how is the Biden administration going to handle this? Are they going to move that Ukraine becomes part of NATO, which then puts that protection around them? Putin has had this long range plan with Ukraine, and of course the former Guy's administration strong-armed or tried to strong-arm Ukraine to produce this evidence. If you look at the way mobsters work, that's what they do. They start with something and then they build that and they keep doing that kind of quid pro quo, if you want to call it that. It can be like blackmail if you want to refer to that. But it didn't actually succeed, did it? And the Biden administration has very strong ties with Ukraine. Let's see what's where America goes. Australia, and other Western democracies follow. So it's very important to us. Will Putin be so bold as to actually openly invade, or will he do what he has done for a long time and try and take little bits of territory in a more, less obvious way? He's building his military presence up in the Black Sea, trying to cut Ukraine off from trade routes. Ukraine's very important to the pathway of his oil and gas line, or his gas line, I think, which will run through and serve Europe and other places. So Ukraine is very strategic to him. Let's see what's going to happen there in Ukraine. So, let's start with the Biden administration. Will they move that Ukraine becomes part of NATO? Will they move that Ukraine becomes part of NATO? So we've got the Five of Wands. Everyone knows that these are dark skies. Battles are brewing. The Five of Wands talks about challenges. So Ukraine's sovereignty, freedom, economic future, in every way, it's being challenged by Russia. But these are also skirmishes and battles at the border as well between separatists. It's the way that Russia worked when they took Crimea. As you know, that was the start of a lot. So this is very central to the Biden administration. and also to the world. Now, the challenge is moderation, so temperance, trying to find a way, a diplomatic way through which avoids war. Now, I'm seeing a white building, quite grand, with a water in front of it. That seems to be where it might be going, and I'll have to look when I get off and see what that is. They will try diplomatic. They will try and challenge this through diplomatic channels, but that is also, I guess, it would be a stronger challenge to Putin if Ukraine was a member of NATO, and that was the question. The Knight of Wands, I think there are plans to bring Ukraine into NATO, but it will be a fiery, I'm just noticing the mountain behind here, it will be it will be met with some kind of resistance here. If you recall, gosh, the world, we think it's a peaceful place. It's not, is it? It's like a tinderbox. If you recall, in the former guy's time, the Russian troops were mobilizing at the border. So in the past, we have the Emperor and we have control, but it's in the past position, which is interesting. In the past, of course, Putin did take control over a lot of things. But it's in the past position here, which is interesting. In the sky, we've got the Seven of Cups. So no real choices have been made. I feel they are moving to trying to find some kind of diplomatic pathway. We have the Ace of Pentacles. Of course, that's going to be sanctions. That's going to be sanctions on Russia. So what they could do, if not making embracing Ukraine in NATO, they could find other diplomatic measures or ways to do this. Let's keep going. So we've got the ending of something right now, the Death card. So given that there are all these skirmishes, I feel there's going to be at least one kind of border breakout, which will result in loss of life, which will mobilize the world. And we've got the King of Pentacles. I keep getting, this is all about business, and this can be Putin as well. But things have changed from 2017, 18, 19 and 20. I keep getting one of, if you look at key performance indicators, one of the former guys' KPI was to make it easier, because Ukraine is so essential to Putin's future plans, or Russia's future plans, was to pave the way. But of course, he's gone now. So it is a different world that Putin moves in now. Let's keep going. The Eight of Swords, restriction in the hopes and fears. I think people are really worried about this, because if he does openly invade Ukraine, where does that leave us? That wasn't the question. Will Ukraine come in under NATO? I'm not seeing the Hanged Man says that something will stop or something is suspended. But also looking at things in another, I'll just go a bit deeper with the Hanged Man, looking at things in another way, from another point of view. It looks like when this person was turned upside down, he's losing all his pentacles. So I feel that with this particular deck, and this is the Gilded Tarot Royale by Cairo Marchetti, it'll be financial sanctions, I feel. Sorry about that drilling. That's my husband working on the plumbing in the house. Hopefully it won't go on for much longer. So sanctions and isolating them I don't see a movement toward NATO at the moment. What I see is funds, giving and receiving help, bringing Ukraine out of the cold so that it's not facing Putin alone. You're going to get allies, Western allies, coming together to put pressure on Russia to cease and desist. Yeah, we've got a bringing together here, and the Queen of Wands. I feel this is what is going to occur. I don't see them being brought in under the umbrella of NATO just yet, but they're going to sanction Russia with, financial sanctions, monetary sanctions. They're also going to fund Ukraine in this war as well, so that they are more able to fight this battle. So that's what I see at the moment. And of course, things can change. No one wants to be dragged into a war. They are looking for other ways through other than all-out provocation. So of course, the next question, or just with a few cards, is will they be successful? Will they be successful? You're very lucky, or we're very lucky in the US, to have such an experienced president and foreign policy staff. So they're going to isolate Russia. This is what it's all about. And of course, that then puts pressure on Putin's leadership. Then why isn't he more cooperative? Why aren't there other ways to do this? Is it his agenda, or is it the oligarchs' agenda? Is it Russia's agenda, or is it the oligarchs' agenda, is the question. All right, so will they be successful in these other channels? Sanctions, financial, isolation in a way, pressure being brought to bear diplomatically. Will they be successful? I'm feeling they will. Yeah, the Knight of Swords. So this is freedom, this is truth, this is, funding Ukraine to fight more, I guess, more successfully, perhaps even having some kind of, you take on Ukraine, strategically you take on us. But we do have a lot of twos coming out here, the Two of Swords. So, that can be about decisions, making decisions, and the Four of Wands, unity, coming back together, community, and justice. So I feel it is going to be successful. Ultimately, whatever they do will be successful. There will be a period of time. We can probably see some things coming to the surface. I see this as Putin's agenda in the Black Sea. This is all part of this as well. But I see the Pentacles coming forward, Page of Pentacles and the Ace of Swords. So cutting Putin down financially. I do feel it is going to be successful. I don't feel that we're going to have a massive kind of, war over Ukraine. It'll be done in other ways. For the moment, that's what I'm seeing. Let's have a look at Alexei Navalny and see if he's out of trouble. I keep feeling it's all in the timing. And if he doesn't get him one way, he'll get him another. All right, Alexei Navalny, is he going to be okay? Is he going to live? Show me Alexei Navalny's future, please. Will his life be okay? Will it be spared? Has he had a reprieve? It's all in the timing. If it's not this time, it will be next. However, we have Biden weighing in again, the King of Cups. We've got heartbreak, betrayal, loss, and we have challenged by Biden. This is getting pretty murky. The Page of Wands, he's okay for the moment. That's a new start of some sort. We have revelations. a miracle almost that all of this became known, and that we were able to see into. If you remember, Russia once had the Iron Curtain. We would not have known, but we do know. We have the Eight of Cups, which is again that it's a potential, and it is the card that came up before. Alexei walking away toward the light, which so worried me. It's still there. So the potential is still there for him to be murdered. Now we have the Two of Swords. This is a crossroads. 120,000 protesters took to the streets. Putin retreated and allowed his doctors in. It's a crossroads. It's a crossroads. And we have healing. So for the moment, the star says there is hope. There is hope. But the potential is there. What's at the base of the pack? If not this time, another. So we have the Hermit, imprisonment, isolation. That was the card that came up before. A campaign. These are two very significant cards in relation to this question. A woman coming through, and we have the Hermit card here. Isolation, introspection, reflection. This is what Russia's doing at the moment. So I think Putin made a political decision to allow Alexei's doctors in. That has given him a reprieve for now, but that Eight of Cups, which was there before, the Hermit is still there, going toward the light. The Three of Swords is still there. Maybe his heart fails as a result of all the pressure that he's been under. I don't see he's out of the woods just yet. But we have the star. We have the star there. So let's see. All right. Now I also want to move to Governor Newsom in California. Perhaps we'll face another election on a recall. I did read about what that is or why that occurs. It makes that governorship very precarious. Even though he was democratically elected, now we have Caitlyn Jenner announcing she's running. And when I saw that, I thought, oh my God, Kardashians. Tainted. Does this mean, I know Matthew McConaughey, different type, is thinking about running for Texas governor. But what this illustrates is that celebrities are having a go at politics. So a minor celebrity, the former guy, rose to the presidency. So, what sort of chest does this open? Pandora's box does this open? Of course, Caitlyn Jenner was also very aligned with Trump. So, throw some cards. Let's have a look. Will Governor Newsom, this is viewers have asked if I could read if he will retain the governorship. That's where we'll start. Will Governor Gavin Newsom retain the governorship of California? Eight of Swords, restriction. He's worried. But we've got the truth. The Knight of Swords coming out, challenged by the truth. So they are trying to restrict him, I feel, through this recall process. But we've got the Knight of Swords here, which is a good card. It's showing that, the battle. He carries a sword here. Now we've got the Hanged Man, so trying to stop whatever he's doing. And this is Republicans again. California is a blue state, big blue state. And so this is trying to stop him. We have Biden in the past, huge political move here. And we have the Two of Swords, so we've got the crossroads. So I wouldn't write off any challenges. Not Caitlyn Jenner. I mean, that is a no. But somebody else. I wouldn't write things off. It looks like there's decisions to be made. Now we have the Ace of Wands. This question was about, will he retain the governorship? That's in the near future. The Ace of Wands is a good card. But we have as a potential a crossroads. Let's keep going. Six of Swords, moving out of troubled waters. These cards are looking good for Newsom. The Chariot, moving quite quickly out of troubled waters. But we have the Hanged Man here. So I don't know, whether his majority is reduced. I'm not sure how it all works. But we have, I just see a big Republican influence here. Some of his decisions around finances, and again, I haven't been keeping up with California politics, but there is a real, there's some kind of insecurity around money. This could be the downturn in the economy over the pandemic. He does retain the governorship. This is the Page of Pentacles. There is this question around the economy, though, to deal with. And, of course, the pandemic, the Three of Swords, and Judgment. So, clarified by Judgment, something coming to an end and a new beginning. I'm just going to draw a clarification on that Page of Pentacles, clarified by the Three of. So it's sort of like loss and betrayal. To win a big election and then have to face a recall, it's that kind of thing. And he's worried. He is worried about it. But there's something around the economy, around money here. Is this a win? There's an abuse here. An abuse of power, sabotage. It's like he's being sabotaged. That's what I'm seeing. Is this a win for Newsom? Okay, so we've got the Lovers. Yeah, this is the Republicans. Review, going back to the drawing board. Some plans have not worked out. There's something, again, around the state of the state's finances. He is being sabotaged, without a doubt. He's being sabotaged. I wonder, is there someone within his own party? That's the kind of feeling that I get. Show me, will he win? Will he win? Lots of political influences here. The Page of Swords. So we've got a spy in the camp. We've got the Ace of Wands again. So what I'm feeling, and I'll update this reading closer. We get the Six of Swords again. Movement forward, moving out of troubled waters. Endings and beginnings, and going back to the past. So I'm feeling that this is a real push by the Republican Party, and it's dirty. It is dirty. He could even be someone closer to him within his own party. But we've got 2 pages in outcome positions. 2 Sixes of Swords, 2 Ace of Wands. So I'm going to say that he will fight this battle and most likely retain the governorship. But he is being betrayed in some way. All right, people in California might comment and let me know what they think. Okay, so I just want to look at Biden's climate change summit. Of course, Australia, we're lagging behind the rest of the world. So what we've got is 2 superpowers coming together saying we are going to tackle climate change. The US and China working together on tackling climate change, which means opportunities for renewable energy providers, the renewable energy sector. And this is what the new Biden administration brings forward. Anyone who's lagging behind because politically they perhaps won votes from taking lumps of coal into parliaments or on doorsteps of Congress or whatever. They're walking a very fine political line, but the danger is that they're going to miss the opportunities that this new focus on the climate, on the environment provides. So is it all just words, or are we going to get some real traction here in favour of mitigating managing climate change. Following this summit and new pledges to reach zero emissions by 2050, is this going to make a difference to climate change or to the environment? So we've got the Hanged Man. Look at the money falling out of his pockets, getting people to look at things in a different way. You literally have to flip them upside down. They're going to lose their money. So it's getting people to focus on something else other than, focus on the earth, not so much on plundering the earth. And we've got all of this incentivization here with this Knight of Cups being presented. Is that's challenging the do-nothing brigade. I mean, it's not funny. It's not funny, but those that take coal into houses of Parliament are funny, are ridiculous. So we've got this incentivization challenging people to get moving on their climate targets. Wow. Justice and balancing the scales. This is karmic. We are, some would say, in the age of Aquarius, which is, we've just had a Libra full moon. We're coming up to a Scorpio full moon. The focus has been in 2021 on bringing an old cycle to an end and beginning something new. And I feel it in the energy. Let's see what's in the past. 3 of Cups. So coming together, this is China, US, other players. I think, who else is in there? The UK, Canada, Germany coming together. This is a good thing. 4 of Wands coming together, reunification. That is the potential. That is the potential, and it will flow right down to us and to the earth and to the next generation. So it has the potential to make real difference. All right, so the Queen of Wands, she's got that baton. She's charging ahead with it. She sees what others cannot see yet, because her lamp is lit. Her wand is lit. The fire of inspiration and passion. These are really nice cards. The 4 of Pentacles. There is a degree of insecurity. How will this harm economies? But this is also standing one's ground and not being moved. And if you look at the Scorpio full moon chart, which I might do if I've got time in the next day or two, you see a lot of planets in Taurus. So not being moved, not giving ground. And we've got the 2 of Pentacles. We have to make decisions. It is decision time. I have to say that last night I had a dream. It was a bit unnerving. That former places where oceans were, it's like the waters receded, although I don't know how that fits, but in some places where countries had to move into, I just saw salt production where lush oceans once were. Now, I don't know what time frame I'm looking at, but this card reminds me, we have rising oceans, the melting of the ice in the Antarctic, and of course there's a balancing there as well. We've got increasing drought and dryness in other places. So time for decisions, time to stand one's ground. But there's a lot of insecurity around this as well. How will this affect industry? How will it affect the fossil industry? So this is where this comes in. Incentivization and opportunities. Again, the 9 of Swords. Maybe this is Australia. A little bit of anxiety there about, are we going to be left behind? I think, now correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we did invent the solar panel. We've got an arid climate. We have a huge uptake of solar on our roofs in Australia to mitigate the cost of electricity through coal-fired means. So, maybe this is the politicians who are funded by the fossil fuel industry. Maybe that's them. Maybe it's the fossil fuel industry having a few sleepless nights. Coal, China is saying it will phase out coal imports. I don't recall the date, but the market for coal is declining. Why would you be investing in it? Knight of Swords, we have the truth. And this, if you remember, came forward for Newsom as well. So it's a good card. And Ukraine seems to be the Knight of Swords day here today, wielding that sword of truth, the eagle flying overhead. This is a good outcome. Yes, it will make a difference. Coming together. Contracts coming together and quickly. Okay, so what's at the base of the pack? The Page of Cups. Again, movement forward. This can be surprise news. Nobody should have been surprised. This was what the Biden administration campaigned on. But we do have China coming out and aligning with the US. And that is what is new here. And we have the Ace of Wands. So this is quite powerful. So thank you, America's voters, for electing the Biden administration. You did well. All right, I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. I'll be back again next week with another reading. Thank you for your support of the channel. And have a great weekend, everyone.